Hello and welcome to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar. In this video entitled Nail It, Don't Fail It for an Inspectacles, I'm offering you 5 things you need to keep in the front of your mind to keep your writing clear, crisp and cracking for your exam. So most importantly, let's make sure we spell the playwright's name correctly. It sounds basic, but it was the most common mistake in last summer's GCSE for this specific question. It's spelled Priest, that's P-R-I-E-S-T, L-E-Y. That last E is the thing where most people are going wrong. Make sure you spell it correctly so you don't lose any marks for spelling, punctuation and grammar on this question. It's important to shed the light on the context that this play was first performed in 1945 in the Soviet Union, a communist country at the time, who had very strong beliefs associated with socialism and echoed some of the ideas that Priestley held dear, the idea that people should be treated more equally, especially the vulnerable in society. It's interesting to note that the play was next performed in the UK in 1946. That therefore makes the post-war audiences very tentative as they watch this play. By this point, the people in the audience have recently experienced not just one but 2 world wars, therefore meaning when someone like Mr. Burling stands up and says there's no chance of war, that is dramatic irony at its best. It's Priestley showing how the rich in the time this play was set have no clue of what will happen. It makes the power of the inspector when he talks about the fire and blood and anguish that will follow seem accurate, because that is the experience of so many lives lost and lived through that of war. So it's important to recognise, whilst the audiences that first watched this were after the wars, this play is set decades before, in 1912. Edwardian society is being shed light on here, and its prejudices are drawn attention to by our fair inspector. It's important that Priestley chose to take this further back in history before each of the wars, because it allows the audience to feel a little distant and actually, in a way, reignite the sense in an audience that they should not be making the mistakes of their Edwardian elders before them, where so much prejudice was held against a vulnerable, weak woman, held at the mercy of the rich. It's important, though, in a play where, frankly, we find it quite straightforward to look at the language and understand how it works, to make sure we refer to how Priestley depicts each character. The question I would ask myself is, what choices does Priestley take to carve out each character? For example, Eva Smith is referred to numerous times by Eric as beautiful and pretty. We get that also from Sheila, yet the inspector described her as not pretty when she's dead. There's more to that than simply the idea that she's beautiful. There's actually a bigger trend going through about what attractiveness really means in this narrative. Now, by all means, I'd love to know if this is useful, and if you'd like to see more of this, please like and subscribe. Please do let me know what you need in these critical weeks before your GCSEs. Why not subscribe to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar for all things English, literary and grammatical?